The target is clear: to put Ukraine in as strong a position as possible for when it's time to negotiate. NATO's Operation Interflex has seen more than 50,000 Ukrainian troops trained in the UK since 2022. And the European Union alone has provided Kyiv with roughly $50 billion in military aid. But experts say more support is needed to hold off the Russian offensive.
The Russians are sort of advancing, half a kilometre a week, but they're advancing nonetheless. And there is the risk that if the line is not stabilised, Moscow could achieve a breakthrough.
The EU has agreed to a 16th round of sanctions on Moscow. Some lawmakers say it's an important signal amid growing fears that Russia and the US could work on a peace plan without European input.
That means that we're steadfast in moving ahead with sanctions and support for Ukraine up until the moment that peace is there, but based, as I said, based on a good peace negotiations with the support of Ukraine and Europe.
The US says Europe will be part of what it calls real negotiations, but the relationship is under strain. The Trump administration says Europe isn't contributing enough to its own defence. At a recent NATO meeting, US Defence Secretary Pete Hegseth said Uncle Sam wouldn't be turned into Uncle Sucker. President Trump has called on European allies to spend at least 5% of annual GDP on defence, up from the existing 2% NATO benchmark. European officials say they're committed to supporting Ukraine and stepping up their own defence capabilities. It's a request the US has been making for years, and experts say contributing more on defence will be a test of Europe's mettle.
If you have effectively made yourself irrelevant, then they'll treat you as irrelevant. And I think that's the other side of what these things are there. And that's what's missing at the moment. Show your relevance. Show that you can step up to it, or we'll just make a plan without you.
Some lawmakers say Europe needs to plan for its own security without the US umbrella.
We cannot count on the United States anymore. I'm already a long time convinced that we need a European army. We need really a European defence union. And what's happening now convinced me even more.
An EU army is an idea that's divided its members. Ukraine's allies in Europe say Kyiv needs strong security guarantees. But serious questions are being raised over how effective those might be unless backed by American muscle, which, for now, President Trump appears unwilling to flex. William Denselow, CNA, Brussels.